Let me know.
Meeting is being live streamed.
By
And
what?
We're figuring that out.
because I'm on my new upgraded Mac, I haven't got X
Ooh,
anymore.
got a new Mac.
No, it's the same Mac, but I did this thing where you upgrade the hard drive.
Oh, you did that. That's right. You told us about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the Apple, the Facebook, sorry.
It's in a semi-live state on LinkedIn. Now
Right.
it's live.
Okay, so what about X?
It's going to take me a minute to
It
figure it
marks the
out
spot.
because I'm not logged in. I have to log in.
Oh, I'm looking, I'm checking. I'm trying to see.
Here we go. Gillmor Gang Live, yeah.
Okay, so that's it, right?
Oh, I'm looking, checking.
Who is that? Is that you, Keith?
No, that was me. Why did it echo?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking is, Keith, is that your audio? Who is that? Is that you?
It is me, and it's now stopped.
Thank you. Okay, Tina, let's go.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, we are streaming live. We're about to start the Gillmor Gang. Steve, mute us off, and we're gonna go. You ready? Anybody?
Kind of.
I'm gonna wait.
All right, go ahead.
Mute us off, and we're gonna go in 3, 2, 1.
Hi, Steve Gillmor here. This is the Gillmor Gang. Welcome to, from the state of rampant confusion is
I think that's Brent Leary.
Brent Leary.
Why is it ramping all of a sudden?
I don't know.
Ossoff is becoming this big star of the of everything.
Guy's
Oh,
working his ass off.
Ah!
Exactly. No, I really didn't expect that. Did you?
I have no expectations.
You got to give this dude time to eat whatever he's eating. I thought he was chewing tobacco at first. I thought, whoa,
Oh,
No, you don't chew tobacco until you chew tobacco.
No,
But I'm not doing that.
You chaw Becky.
I have my protein bar. That's all.
From the Duchy of Palo Alto is Keith Tier. Welcome.
It is a great pleasure to join you on this wonderful blue sky, sunny Palo Alto Saturday.
Oh, how lovely.
From the Duchy of London is Frank Radis.
Hello, Steve. Tina. Hello, gang. Stirs.
Yeah, don't get too excited.
Hello, guys. Good to see you.
He's pacing
I'm so
himself.
excited. I am so excited. If I go over the top before this thing begins, there will be nothing left at the end.
Oh, okay.
Either way, I think there will be nothing left at the end.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
you know what the end is, don't you?
This is the end, my friend,
Mm.
my beautiful friend. The end.
Hey.
Brent's like,
My
what?
beautiful friend. No, I don't think so.
That is the words of the song.
The Doors song. Are you sure?
Yeah. Go check it out.
Mm.
And not every single verse has that, but it is in the song.
My friend.
Mm.
Okay, and to my right, producer director Tina Chase Gillmor.
Hi there. Hello. Welcome. And we do not have a sunny day here, but that's okay. It's not raining. Well, it was, but it's not now.
Okay, so we don't have a whole lot to discuss, in my
Or
opinion.
do we?
Okay.
Or do we?
Wait
So,
a minute. Can I start off with the tie-dye shirt you got on? Is that is that something new or
This?
old? Yeah.
No, this isn't tie-dye.
What is it?
It is tie-dye.
Is it?
Of course it is.
It looks like it to me, but
Well,
Yes, it is.
I used to live in a house that was designed and implemented by the original Tie-Dye Annie.
Okay.
who's that? I never heard of her.
She was the inventor of tie-dye, basically.
Really?
Yeah.
Annie what?
I don't know.
Any
Oakley.
die.
Got to be Annie Oakley.
No, it was.
Yeah, way back then.
I met her once at a party, but I didn't ask her last name.
As you don't.
It would have been okay. This was a very hippie kind of era.
Oh,
Did you ask her
really?
why she came up with the tie-dye?
No, I didn't really need to. I mean, this house was this little Japanese uh, pagoda, and the sliding doors, they were all in tie-dye Annie authorized tie-dye.
But how did she know that the way colors look when you're on acid could be reproduced using tie-dye?
I don't think she was worried about
A
it.
really good question, actually.
It is a good question, but I don't think that anybody cared about the after effects of acid. They were just in it or not in it.
This
Right.
seems to be what some AI is saying is tie-dye Annie born Anne Thomas was a legendary counterculture artist credited with helping spark the 1960s tie-dye craze. A former corporate music executive, she lived at The Farm,
There you go.
an
That's
artistic commune in the Hollywood Hills where she ran the Water Baby Dye Works and taught musicians like John Sebastian how to dye clothes.
so.
I'm sorry I asked.
No, that's a great story.
Now this is going to segue into John Sebastian stories,
No,
which we
no,
have
it's
with you.
not. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No.
That
Okay.
John Sebastian
I'm
or
gonna-
Johann Sebastian?
PDQ Bach was never at the farm, but was an amazing.
Can't see you.
What? What?
I can't see your eyes.
Oh, good.
Because your hat.
How's that?
That's so much better.
So this house was uh, one of the Firesign Theater lived there, and then he moved to near the farm on Barham Boulevard, which is just over the hill from Universal Studios. And on the same hill as this house was another member of the Firesign Theater, Phil Austin, who lived at the top of the hill. And then just over that hill was the house that another member of the Firesign. So this was David Osmond. So this was like, it was called Mixville because the area had been owned by a single family home by Tom Mix, the legendary
Western black and white.
exactly.
Uh,
And the connection between the farm, which was this kind of hippie thing right in the middle of the corporate overpass from Hollywood to Burbank, there was just this really crazy kind of a thing that was immortalized by the Summer of Love and all this kind of crap. So I lived there for about 3 years, and then I don't remember what happened, but I didn't.
I think that
stay.
explains a lot. I mean,
Well, in those days, I didn't remember a lot. Kind of like now.
I thought
did? Who did?
I thought you were just non-linear. Now I realize that you're trapped in a permanent flashback.
There you go.
Well, I would be, except that I don't really care. And I
As
did
one,
then. So I'm not trapped.
You didn't really do a lot of that anyway.
you're not trapped, yeah.
But
Acid.
acid, no, I did it 3 times.
Three is an interesting number because usually the first time it's either terrible or awesome. And if it's terrible, you don't do it again. And if it's awesome, you do it a lot more than 3 times. So there must be a story behind 3 times.
Yeah, the story is that it was all mescaline, not acid.
Oh, there you go.
And it, as I think Tina said once, it was too long. It's like 7 or 8 hours. I mean, give me a break.
You can buy that stuff legally in Amsterdam now. I mean,
Well, you could buy hash there too, right?
yeah,
It's
hash
7 or
and marijuana.
It's 7 or 8 hours, and it completely disables your body's normal functioning. So it's only pleasant inside your own head.
You seem to know more about this than I expected.
See, Keith, you must have had your own experiences at some point.
I used to walk around with a plastic bag with 50 tabs of acid pyramids stuffed down my sock just in case I needed one.
Wow.
So,
Is this
so who's
what?
going to win the
Are we gonna get to see-
Michigan
are we gonna get to see
Senate
the
race?
photograph from those days? You know, the one with
No,
the,
we've seen it.
on the bell
Man,
bottom
man.
and the
I don't have to
Yeah.
worry. All of my friends are dead. So
The ones I didn't like
except
were
for
the
you
blotting.
guys, I mean,
I didn't like the blotting paper ones because I never knew what the dose was.
Mm.
Is this what Saturday Gilmore Gang shows?
Almost,
But we've reached
almost identically, yes.
60 druggies.
blotters,
Aren't
really
you
good.
glad
Under
you're
the
here?
tongue, very
I mean,
skinny.
So, Brent, what do you want to talk about?
I'm lost at the moment. I'm in the
Say
state
again?
of confusion again. So, you know, it's-
Brent,
Yeah.
I'm going to accuse you of being wrong last week, but I don't remember who said what, so I could be wrong. but
you could be accusing yourself here,
the,
Keith.
the attorney general candidate, everyone said he's not going to get it, and then he did.
Nobody said he wasn't going to get it.
Are we talking about the dude
I
in
think
Maine?
everybody said he wasn't gonna get it.
No.
No.
The lawyer, the
The
former
lawyer getting the attorney general job.
Yeah, I mean, there was nobody who said he wasn't going to get it.
No,
I think we all did.
I mean,
I think we said because that was it going to come out of committee or something like that?
Yes.
Right.
it came out of committee with a
Yeah.
yes because Sue Collins was in her favorite spot, which is whatever she said didn't matter. So she said,
Exactly.
said no to him, and then what's his name? The other guy. Oh, the
It
doctor.
was Cornyn and and the other
they
Tom
voted-
Tillis.
Rand
Tom Tillis.
Paul.
No,
No.
Rand Paul was too busy grilling Fauci.
Oh yeah, Fauci. So here's the thing. It got out of committee and went on the floor and was voted on really fast. It was like what happened? I thought that if there was going to be a situation where the guy wouldn't win, I always thought he'd get through the committee somehow.
Well, what it is
that he wouldn't win on the floor, and the floor, was a straight vote except for two people in the Republican side.
What it is all these folks that the resident campaigned against in their primaries, they lost, so they got ousted. And instead of like just becoming their own person again, they want to be, I guess, known as a good Republican. And
No,
so
this guy has pictures of them with a sheep.
maybe that's it. I don't know.
I'm telling you,
like
there's
this guy
something.
Cassidy yesterday. Why the hell did he start crying when he says what he's gonna do, what his vote is gonna be? Does
He said
anybody
he
know
was
why?
wrong, and everybody knows it, and that's the way it is. And goodbye.
And then he started crying. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell are you crying for, man? You're voting. It's either you vote yes or vote no. Well, nobody wants to see tears. There's no crying. There's no crying in Congress. At least that should be the case.
Right.
So, what did anybody think about the Michigan Senate primary?
Mm.
With what's his name? Syed.
That guy is
Abdul.
really smart.
He's got a lot of talent when it comes to the politics stuff.
And he's just a genuinely smart guy too.
Yeah,
I mean,
I had no idea he was a doctor and a Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah.
You never
Yeah.
hear him. You never hear him actually say any of that stuff about himself. Do you
Yeah.
imagine if
he was
if
born
Trump
in the
did all
Midwest?
that stuff? How often he'd be telling us how he's a Rhodes Scholar and he's a doctor? Can you imagine how many times we'd hear that out of his mouth? This guy, I've never seen him physically say all the stuff that apparently he's done before. And yet, and still, they're labeling him as some kind of a terrorist or a communist.
No, you know what I think.
Really
I
ridiculous.
think that you think about it. There was this flip around with Mamdani by Trump and the or as you like to call him, the resident. He did a turnaround and flipped over, and then he just dove into this guy. From the very beginning, when it looked like he was going to have some kind of muscle in the numbers. And I think that, you know, if you listen to him talk also, look, I think Mamdani is a pretty uh, is a good smart guy, and I think this guy is cut from the same cloth. And I think that there's, you know, they're progressive, they're young, and they're they're freaking scaring the Republicans right now. I think.
They're scaring the Democrats right now, which is a good thing.
Well, yeah, they are doing that too. It's true.
The interesting thing about him is he's explicitly not a democratic socialist. He was asked and he said, no, I'm a capitalist.
Yeah.
And he articulated quite articulately how capitalism doesn't have to be unfair. You can take wealth and use it for good ends. And he's placed himself right in the middle. He's like a centrist. So the only reason he gets tarred with the Mandami brush is because he's Muslim.
No, I think if you're a duck, it's if you're a duck, you're a duck, and I all of that is well and good, and I completely understand what you're saying, Keith, because I've heard him talk about those things. But he is still a progressive member of this party compared to the other people.
No, did he say it was Medicare for all? Wasn't that one of his?
Yeah, that he wrote a book about that.
So right then, and he's a doctor, so he actually should get a little bit more leeway in how he presents it, because I know he's not a practicing doctor now, but apparently.
Why did it take until after this election or this primary for us to be talking about this guy like this? I wonder. We did not. He didn't hit my radar right away, and then he started making some noise, and yeah, then he hit my radar.
He won. He won.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, and then he won, and then we're finding out.
The reason that I cared about it was because he went up against $70 million in TV advertising by the Republicans.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe they only won by 15,000 votes, but they won.
Who cares? Wins a win. Wins a win.
He won.
I think all the Democratic mainstream power was endorsing her, right? I mean, didn't the governor endorse her? The governor, and she's really popular. Seemed like and didn't like the guy that is not running and that's gonna be whoever takes this guy's place. He endorsed her. Like everybody that was like in the leadership of the Democratic Party endorsed her. And then, like you said, 60 million from the Republicans was against him. And he still won with all of that. That's pretty impressive.
So yeah, and I think that that's indicative of the way things are starting to go.
Yeah, and the communist smear didn't work, which was very good.
If you scratch the surface and look at the votes, he actually won because of Ann Arbor, and that was mainly a massive, overwhelmingly like 70-80% of students voted for him, not her.
Yeah.
And if he hadn't have gotten that, he wouldn't have won. So the commentary on Morning Joe the morning afterwards was about the governor race and the likelihood of him winning the governor race depends on him going outside of Ann Arbor to the other counties, which they doubt he can.
What are you talking about?
Governor.
Who?
Senate.
Sorry, not the governor. The Senate. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the likelihood of him winning is the extent to which his opponent in the primary, basically joins his team.
I think she already has.
Well, she's made some good calls there, but she's going to get some lashback about that from what's the guy, Jeffries, and maybe Chuck.
Why would they give him? Why would he get lashback from them? Don't they want whoever wins?
No, they've been trying to stop the left progressive strength.
Well, now they have to,
Yeah.
Well, they jumped on board that train after he won.
Yeah. This is why I posted in our little chat, I hate the media. And I had to apologize for Frank.
No, I agreed with you.
No, he agreed with you.
I know, but I still felt because he was involved with it. So, but immediately they start talking about, oh, he's got to have to do all this. He's got to do. Whoever won that race was going to have to do the same thing because it was basically 50-50. So if she had won, then she would have had to be the one to reach across the table and build the bridges. But they were making it sound like because this guy won, he's going to have to do extraordinary stuff to make sure the Democratic Party stays together. It was just really sickening to hear that kind of stuff because it didn't matter who won to me. I don't think it mattered who won outside of Michigan, as long as whoever won that one beats the guy. What's his name? Mike something. The Democratic
Rogers.
candidate. I mean the Republican. Yeah, Mike Rogers. As long as they beat that guy, we don't care. We don't care who it was coming out of it. We just wanted whoever to come out of it to be able to win. That's it.
That's the big question is, he can win the primary. Is he going to win the general? So,
But isn't that the same question that they would have had to ask her?
sure, yes, but I think that she's been a more of a what
Centrist?
Yeah.
No,
That's
well,
what-
they've turned him into the boogeyman.
Yeah.
So
Who's him?
Syed, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think that'll help him.
I do too.
I
You think so?
I think I do, because I think his name will be out there and it'll be on everybody's tongue.
Look, I mean,
And-
if he
and-
doesn't win, then this progressive wave is bullshit.
Well,
So
here's
he's
the
got to win.
Here's the thing, though. He was projected to win by a larger margin.
Those polls are terrible,
Okay.
weren't they? Jeez.
So we have to ask, well, why did he win by a lesser margin? Now, I've heard a few things. One is that they oversampled young people, and that they, the young people vote or presumed vote was going to be heavily weighted toward him, and the polls were then showing this erroneous kind of number. I also think like Haley Stevens had apparently an extremely strong ground game. I mean, they were in neighborhoods and knocking on gazillion doors. Did that matter? Did that up her vote? Does he have a bad ground game? Does that have to be adjusted? But there's something there. And I get, we could just say, well, it's just the polls, that it was screwy, they sampled wrong. But I think we have to look at everything and say, like, can he win? Now, some people are saying, hey, I do not like that guy, and when it comes down to it, I'm gonna vote for the Republican.
What are we talking about here? We're talking about whether the Democrats are going to be able to overtake the House. I mean,
the Senate.
Senate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's in any way a sure thing.
Mm-mm.
Right.
I
Okay,
don't
so-
think it's a sure thing.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter whether he wins or loses.
Well,
I
we'd
think it
like to take the
matters.
Senate, right?
Not a
We'd
lot.
like to. What?
I would like it, but I
But
don't
let's
think it's
just
going to
hope
happen.
The House.
I think the
Okay.
bigger picture might be what it means for the Democratic Party's positioning in the primaries for the next presidential race.
Oh, I think it also means where the Democrats are going to spend what little money they have left. And they may move money around. And
But
I
that
think
was what was interesting about this particular primary is that money didn't buy much.
not for
Maybe
the
it
other
did.
guys.
against like 20 million.
That's not enough.
Yeah, not for the other guys. That's
But
for sure.
I think he probably would have lost. The one thing that he did get the backing of what's the guy out of your state, the black representative.
Tom Scott.
No,
Tom
not
Scott's
the senator.
saxophone player.
The long standing congressman. What's his
Clyburn?
name? Yeah, Jim something. I can't remember his last
Clyburn.
name. Yeah, Jim Clyburn. He
South Carolina, yeah.
yeah, he actually endorsed her, and I think that endorsement brought like the kind of the traditional black 50 plus age Democrats on her side, and I think that's what made it as close as it was, because I think he won all those areas considerably by large margins.
Right, which is
You also have
a
to
good
understand-
sign, for
Him.
the Democrats
Yeah.
You also have
in
to
the
understand that
general.
Detroit, the
Insightful.
Detroit
Insightful.
area, Wayne County, and Oakland County too, there are a lot of Middle Eastern, ethnically Middle Eastern voters there.
Yeah, huge.
A lot.
I think wasn't there a gerrymandering issue in Michigan just prior to this election? When hadn't they gerrymandered like something that would have given them all sorts of opportunities, but hurt other people who have to get out and vote? Where's the Democrat going to go cast his ballot?
Good question.
I thought there was some gerrymandering issue in Michigan. I could be wrong, but it's just me.
Well, we have a native Michigander here. So how do you see this playing out in November? Who do you think's going to win?
And who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Senate race in Michigan.
Yeah, but you said native.
Me. Hello.
The person
know.
to your right. What do you think?
I'm just, the model.
I actually listen to these things. I listen.
No, I heard it. I don't necessarily ask questions based on my lack of knowledge. Sometimes.
Well, she's not from the state of confusion, so I didn't want to go there.
Oh, good. So what's your point?
I think that I think something that got employed during Obama's race was that every time a Republican would say his name, they threw in the name Hussein. I think El Said has no, there's no option there. That's his last name, and it's a very Middle Eastern, sounding name. I think it won't play for a lot of people. I think that they'll bring in their biases and they'll concoct whatever ideas they have based on name alone. However, I do think he's an incredibly talented politician. His ability to answer questions, stay calm, stay on track. He's, he's a little Mamdani like. I think Mamdani has this, charm offensive that's, unbelievable, which I don't think El Said has. But
no, he's pretty charming.
He is. Honestly, he's very charismatic. I was when I first heard him speak.
Charismatic. I don't think he has that saying. He doesn't elicit that. The smile doesn't.
He doesn't have that smile like Mamdani.
Well, he could be president, and Mamdani
about women here too.
Mamdani is not a
women about.
Yeah,
Mamdani
that smile's
available for running for president.
That smile's starting to bug me.
It was.
I'm sorry.
El Said was born in America or not?
Yes, he was born in the Midwest, I think, in Kansas somewhere. But he went to Oxford and
he's a born American. And in other words, he could for president. Okay.
He followed the path of Bill Clinton, going from being born here and going to British University.
Oxford, yeah.
I think Frank, you said something earlier, like you think the fact that the Republicans are gonna pile on them and kind of use all the communist terrorism kind of stuff, and it's gonna work out for him. I think you're right because of the way that he'll answer it. He's very calm. He's a good-looking dude. He's young. Yeah. But that all plays into this.
He has a
no, but I don't think that's the problem right now. The more that Trump is stuck in the war, the less that the anti-Israel faction has clout on the part of the Republicans. They really can't sell communism, and they can't sell the idea that just because Israel is the Jewish state, that
Michigan has they have a lot of Middle Eastern voters. They have a lot of Jewish American voters there too. And I'll tell you, the Jewish American voters are not
happy.
Yeah, they're concerned about him and some of the things that he has said.
Well, I'm not sure that that's true. I think that the Republicans are selling the idea that they're concerned.
Oh, they're going to try to make him the boogeyman.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think that stuff's working.
Now he's gonna probably almost word for word what Mandami has said, because it's worked with Mandami, and
How did it work with
but
Mandami?
he does if you there's a couple questions though. If you ask about Israel, he might take a little circuitous route to get to an answer that's not exactly asking what you're asking.
Well, that's because he doesn't want to alienate the Muslim voters in that area.
Yeah, and you
so-
said
so
there's a
he-
lot of them there, a lot of Arab
He
folks.
needs
So
to
he's
have
keeping
several-
stum. He's keeping stum. I don't think we really
What
know
does
what he
keeping
thinks.
stum mean?
Yeah, Stum,
It's
what's that?
Yiddish for button your lip.
I like that. I'm going to start using that. Stum.
I like it too.
Stum?
You stummer.
Stum.
Stum. Like that.
Well, I think that there are a couple
I
of
think he's correct me. Isn't he in favor of decreasing the monies that are being sent to Israel? Isn't
Yeah,
that one of his?
Oh,
Hasn't
he's-
he come out and said that?
the thing that is
yeah, that's why they
least
spent $60 million against him.
the thing that he's least defensible against is I can't remember who it was who it might have been our favorite Democrat who's not a Democrat. But basically, the attack is that he is not in favor of defensive of the United States giving defensive weapons to Israel.
Which is, for me, that's a disqualifying point of view, if that's true. I don't know that he believes that, but I believe you, Steve. But look, if on the scale of history, if you're saying Israel doesn't have a right to exist, that's a problem for me.
I don't think he said that, did he?
No,
Well,
No,
All right,
he
we're
didn't.
not going to help them
That's
exist
the thing.
we're not going to give them defensive weapons so they can. I mean, to me, one of the best things the US has done in the last couple of years is to help Israel after October 7th.
Mhm. But the Patriot batteries included with their Iron Dome system have been really effective.
Yeah, but the unfortunate thing is Netanyahu is still there.
Well, of course, even Israelis don't like that, but you can't use that to say we're not going to help Jews survive.
How come he's still, if he's so unpopular, how is he still in power there?
well, how come Trump's president?
It's
We have a
because
bunch of
there's
idiots.
no election. That's the problem. There's no election. If the war stopped, there'd
He
be an
would-
election. I think the election has been delayed because of the war. And so Netanyahu, of course, likes the fact that the war's continuing. Because, and by the way, he's subject to all kinds of legal cases that could end up him being locked up.
So he kind of has to keep a war going. That's what it sounds like.
Oh
He,
yeah.
he does, but I don't think that's why it's happening. It's happening because in that part of the world, they literally want Jews out of the region. That is not okay. And
I thought
unless
there was a two-state solution thing.
there's
kind
no
of
two-state solution.
Nah,
because
that's dead.
every time Israel has offered one, it's been rejected by the other side.
That's
I mean, the
shame.
history is very clear that Israel has tried to have two-state solutions, I think 3 times in my memory. And it's never been, they killed the Egyptian prime minister because he was in favor of it.
Which one?
It's not Mubarak, is it? Is it Mubarak? It was about, one of the very first attempts where Yasser Arafat agreed.
Was it Sadat?
It was Sadat. And
Nah, he's
Sadat-
Egyptian. You talking
I
about
said-
Begin?
I said Egyptian.
Oh, I thought you said they killed the something.
No, the Egyptian. So there has never been support for a two-state solution amongst the Arab side, and whenever there has, it's blown up through the participants being killed.
Well, that's true, but our favorite resident has an economic play. The so-called Abraham Accords
Oh yeah.
would to try and counter this and sort of make it about you know, beachfront property in Gaza.
Didn't he
And
call it, he wanted to make it the Riviera of the Middle East or something like that?
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he did a promo where he and Benjamin were sitting on lounge chairs at a pool outside of the Trump casino in Gaza, the Gaza casino. So there is some breaking news.
So I mean,
Sounds
this
like
doesn't.
Hang on.
Go ahead. Sorry.
it sounds as though the Iranians and the Omanis, through an intermediary, have come to an agreement to open the Strait of Hormuz.
Oh, you believe that?
No, let me finish my thought, because
Okay.
I think it rolls into
Saturday.
hey, the president needs a way out, and guess what? This could be a way out. Literally, I think here's what I think he's gonna say: we won, pull everybody out, and that's it.
So you think that that'll happen? How many days,
I
or
don't know.
weeks, or months, or
I-
years?
Yeah, I
So
know.
wait, what's the deal? The deal is with Oman will handle.
No, I have to have I only read the headline. I'm
Okay.
I'm sure it's all about money. They want to. They've probably agreed to a common toll booth.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
sure.
there's going to be instead of it being just one access point through the Straits of Hormuz, apparently it's going to also be Oman further north, I believe it is.
Yeah, well, they're kind of
different
like
path.
that, you
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
And it looks as though the Iranians are saying that they're close to a deal, but everyone is still worried about people breaking the ceasefire and any ceasefire disputes. And so,
So I hear you. I wouldn't bet on it.
yeah, I'm just telling you what the news is. I just report them.
The
Now,
CNN
speaking of the
headline
news-
says Iran demands concessions from U.S. as it nears Strait of Hormuz deal with Oman. Demands concessions from the U.S.? That doesn't sound like a sure thing.
What time was that story?
Updated 2:16 p.m.
2:16.
So has anybody seen News Nation?
Never.
Yeah, I have friends that work on that.
Yeah,
A friend of mine.
I'm quite our
Run.
faithful reader and Michigan or no,
No,
Alabama
no,
or
no.
Alabama.
where is she from? Mississippi. That's right. Deanne Vane hipped us to News Nation.
Yeah.
There's a guy who I don't like much because of what his brother did, which is Chris Cuomo. But he's a hell of a reporter.
He is.
I watch his show, the Cuomo show.
Yeah, that's the one.
I
That's
watch it
News
on
Nation.
Yeah, it's on YouTube as well.
It's very good,
Yeah.
and it represents the first real inroads against the CNN, NBC, or Now, or whatever it's called now, and Fox sort of hegemony. And it's
there's an additional thing, Steve, that's attached to this story, and that's the recent ruling by the FCC that there's no cap on purchasing local stations, which will open them up to the opportunity of becoming an important network.
But is that going to push them to the right too far? That wouldn't necessarily be good. I mean, I've been trying to figure out what the politics of the network are.
I know the
it
guy
seems
that
they're
runs
playing
it.
down the middle between progressive and the right.
Yeah, I know the guys at the top, and they're pretty right. But you're right about the show and the programs. They're pretty centrist, and so I have faith that they'll stay like that. But the point I was making was if they by changing the cap, station groups can buy as many stations as they want, and if you're out there and you're syndicating your show and you own the places where the shows are syndicated to, it kind of sets up a dual revenue stream. It's a whole lot of reasons why this is
Isn't that, uh, by the way, I just want to caveat this with I have no clue what I'm talking about in this domain, but I'm going to say what my gut tells me, which is, isn't that irrelevant these days? Are local stations still meaningful? I mean, who watches
You know,
For weather,
you,
it is.
you're yeah,
That's
you're
And
on,
sports.
on the one hand, you're right, but there's still a tail in the industry, and I don't know how many years that tail is going to continue out there. And the things that work in that sort of broadcast cable environment are true crime stuff and news and events
probably.
and sports, and so there's still an audience for that, and there is still millions of dollars to be made on advertising sales for that. There's no doubt about that. It hasn't done a flip over yet because the metrics against doesn't matter if you get 1 billion views, you're going to get $1.87. That's not quite the, you know, it hasn't gotten to the point yet where it's irrelevant. It's certainly heading in that direction now.
Well, there was some interesting dynamic in the when Kimmel was bounced off of ABC, wasn't it ABC? Effectively Disney, uh, and then was returned. But in the interim between him being fired essentially and coming back, the Sinclair stations, which is notorious right-wing version of what you're talking about, uh, they basically said, "Yeah, screw you," and they kept him off for about two more weeks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
ultimately, uh, uh, Kimmel got back on the air, not just the cable, but also the broadcast.
You
So
know,
that's
they made a point that had an audience of one, and at Sinclair. There's no doubt about that, and it was always going to end up the way it ended up, I think.
So that's the interesting thing, is how the local stations intersect with the broadcast networks, the national broadcast networks, which is the programming switches over, from local news to now back to the national feed. And probably people mostly watch it for the national stuff, except every now and then when the weather's going to be bad or something, and you switch to the local news just to check the weather.
Well, we used to have an issue with what was the brand? Was the brand the number of the channel? So channel 4, or is the brand NBC in Washington, for example?
NBC for me.
And it's NBC, and that continues to exist today.
I have to go and look. I don't even know which channel numbers are owned by which networks anymore.
Well, I find this a fascinating subject, but unfortunately, we have a hard stop in 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
Brent,
I knew that. I'm kidding.
Oh, that was funny.
Right,
Wasn't it?
Up at 3.
Get to the point, Caesar.
So I still don't get the point. And
it's like,
oh, I get it. So I do think that there's a common thread here, which I've already mentioned several times, one of which is the communist lack of sticking as a
sticking
label.
Steve, can we pick up on that theme? Is it okay?
In a minute after I finish my sentence. So the similarly is the the issues about Israel with Abdul, that everybody says, well, this is just going to be same old, and that the Republicans are going to come this way. But Trump said something interesting a couple of days ago, which is basically, and of course it was complete fantasy, but it's still, he said it, which is that basically it's not he who is unpopular, it's the Republicans. So I, who knows how we parse that, but I do think that this midterms is going to come down to some different dynamics than the traditional ones. So go ahead, Keith.
So I think there's a hierarchy of unpopularity. I think they're all unpopular, actually. And I think the communism thing speaks to that. The communism thing, even though I don't think it's communism at all in my strict academic understanding of communism, but let's just take it for what it is. The communism thing is real. Young people, especially educated young people, have in far greater numbers than ever before become anti-American and anti-capitalist. They don't really know what anti-capitalist means, but it's a gut feeling. And they're anti-colonialist, and they associate Israel with being a colonizer. So it's within their ideology is anti-imperialism, anti-colonialism, anti-capitalism, and actually anti-Americanism. And those fit under an umbrella that can draw very large crowds on university campuses and is entirely anti-Israel. And it feels to them as if they're being progressive. They feel it's a progressive set of ideas representing a better vision of the future. And they in doing that end up on the side of Islamicists who are medieval and far from progressive. It's really weird how that left-wing movement can become, on occasion, pro-Iran and pro-Hamas. And it's because they have really no sense of what progressive means. And
Well, I'm not sure I agree with you in the sense that I think that the commonality between young people and the swing vote in the purple states, which is where everything is going to happen, the commonality is the economy. And basically, these labels, political labels, are irrelevant to most of the voters in that area.
Except maybe, Steve, because as Keith was going on, I was thinking, is it possible that by labeling the progressives or anybody to the middle, to the left of center, communists, if that doesn't in fact push them to some young people, as opposed, I mean, it's almost like, oh my God, it's making people think this is a really bad thing actually makes people think this can't be that bad. Regardless,
Maybe
know.
I just see the numbers in the Michigan primary. They started out with about a 10-point bulge, then it dropped to about 8 points, and then in 1 minute it was even, and then it came back about 2 points, but those 2 points were the difference.
Steve, I do think there's a
really stable, and I think that what we see with people like Mandani and who he has endorsed and how they were successful. I think 5 people in the House were elected, or I'm not sure about reelected, but there's a lot of strength in this coalition that appears to be forming. And
I think there's
it's
an economic
hard to suggest what that coalition is, except if you look at the numbers.
There is also an economic part to it, Steve, which is you see on these marches, people holding signs saying, seize the means of production. That's often popularized as anti-big tech. And Bernie Sanders' 50% ownership of the AI companies kind of fits into that mold as well, as does Trump's 10% ownership of Intel, funnily enough. So there is an economic dimension that is saying you can't trust capitalists with capitalism, but you can trust the government. That is part of that ideology.
I think that's a kind of a reach. I hear what you're saying, but I'm talking about something that neutralizes about $70 million of television is a big deal. And
Yeah,
that's what happened. You know, they may not have won big. The polls may have been inaccurate, but the move was clear as a bell.
It kind of depends on what the media buy was, though, Steve. I mean, you can automatically assume it's television commercials, but I'm sure there was a whole bunch of other stuff attached to that. And, you know, whether it's
But there
billboards
wasn't a
or
whole bunch of stuff attached to Abdul's side.
no,
It was
no,
basically social media and something that's probably more important, which is the economic vote.
yeah,
Is basically, I don't believe anything that anybody's saying. I just want to make sure that, forget about my kids being able to buy a house. How about we keep our house? That
I
I think
think
is the core
it's a good.
of.
That's a good message.
well, it
I
also
agree.
requires the individual to identify with the lack of popularity of both Democrats and Republicans. The individual has to say, I'm not one of those. I'm for you. And if they can become what is effectively an independent, even though they're a Democrat, in the eyes of the voters, that will help them.
I agree. So, all
Hmm.
right, we've got 5 minutes before
Brent turns into Cinderella.
Brent becomes Ossoff. Okay. Anything else that we want to talk about before you leave? Yeah, that's what I just said.
Okay.
I think Google's having a meltdown with Gemini and all these changes, with the main scientist leaving to form a new company, and Hassabis realizing he doesn't want to be a CEO, he wants to be a scientist. I do think there's an interesting set of new developments that more or less is leaving the stage clear for OpenAI and Anthropic.
Hmm. Okay.
That's
I
it?
have
I
one
thought there was gonna be more follow-up on that one.
about AI and Anthropic and OpenAI and ChatGPT, blah, blah, blah. If you get a chance to either read or listen to Regime Change by Maggie Haberman and
Jonathan Swan.
John Swan, the section where it talks about how the AI execs got together to teach Trump how to make memes and how to use AI is fascinating, and to see and to hear how they discuss how Donald Trump, who started out very reluctant, and and had the all the old people AI problems with it. That's gonna take over that. Here comes the machines and blah blah blah. And at the end, it was like, oh my god, I can make myself look like Superman. Anyway, I don't think he said that, but it's certainly what he's doing. Anyway, it's just fascinating. In this book, I'm about 10 chapters into it. It's astounding. It's really worth a read.
Is it big picture as well as news? Does it do big picture as well as like detailed news stuff?
Not yet. It may, I don't know, but I mean, you can, by extrapolating from how things are laying out, how they affect the big picture. And I think that's where they're going with it. I just don't know yet.
Is it possible Trump is set a trap, and that by the time the presidential election comes around, the Democrats have moved so far to the left that they can only get 30% of the vote?
No.
No, I don't think so. I think that may be what he's trying to do, but like, it depends on which one of those wacko people he has over his shoulder telling him which way the wind is blowing right now, which is what I think the issue is.
I think he's the executive producer, managing editor of the Oval Office.
Yeah, and he's the set designer.
And nobody's going to stop him from doing
Nah.
that. And he'll just move it onto the plane after the midterms.
Yep, I think so. I mean, unless the House and the Senate fall and there's enough votes to go through impeachment and and
Well,
having
I
him.
know you love science fiction, so well, I'll go with you.
Oh, look, I don't think there's going to
That
be any
film,
issue.
by the way,
He's
was
going to be impeached. I don't know that he's going to get convicted, but he will. I bet you right now. Here, we should do a poll. He will
okay.
be impeached
All right, so raise your hand if you think he's going to be impeached.
because it's not that big a deal, guys. You know, the Congress can impeach a ham sandwich.
I know,
Anyway.
but
It's about the conviction. I don't know about that. That's the
I'm
issue.
I'm on a no because I think the Democrats are exhausted from failed impeachments already.
yeah. And I think people need other kind of progress.
All right. Well,
Okay, Brent, last thoughts?
I could really go for a Philly cheesesteak.
mm.
I haven't had one. I just, for some reason, that just jumped in my head.
Aren't there two places there in Philly where they're kind of across the street from each other that are famous for Philly cheesesteaks?
Yeah, Pat's and the other one.
Yeah.
I get them, and I know where to get them. The not famous better place. Anyway, I'll just say this one. We were talking about Mondani versus Al Saeed earlier. I don't know. I think it might be more Al Saeed in comparison to Obama, more so than Mondani. I mean, New York City is. I mean, it is what it is. When's the last time? Well, I guess. When was the last time a Republican won for mayor of New York City?
Bloomberg.
Bloomberg, and he was
Well, he
more
was
independent than
he was independent by
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't like as soon as he won the primary, it was over. Whereas this one, I say he won the primary, but it certainly isn't over.
Mm-mm.
And there's Michigan is a much, I think, broader uh compilation of people and types of people. And I think he seems to have some of the stuff that Obama had in terms of he's charismatic. He is a really eloquent speaker. He can get his thoughts across without being looking or appearing angry, and
And
that is
he's
key. That's
and he's
key
got
because
the issue that is driving that campaign is Medicare for all.
Mhm.
so
And
I
that,
think
he's all about that.
so I think
I
when they try to villainize him, it's going to make them look stupid because when he starts talking, anything but a villain shows up.
Here, here.
it's certainly compared to say Gavin Newsom, who feels to me creepy and self-interested. He appears to be organic, natural, and I agree with what you said there, Brent.
I think it's got a huge smart factor there. That guy is just really smart.
But would the Dems ever stand? The Dems are very good at killing primary campaigns for
Yeah,
people
but
they don't want.
they weren't good at it in this primary. They
But they're
got blown out.
No, but they're really good in national primaries in the year leading up to the presidential election to squeeze out the people they don't want.
Yeah, but that's if any of them are, still alive.
True.
Okay. All right. Well, Tina, any last thoughts?
I did watch Cape Fear. I watched it late. I didn't start watching it when it first came out, but I binge watched it in the last couple of weeks on Apple TV.
We still haven't finished
Yeah,
it.
no spoilers, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't finish it either.
Yeah. I just I don't know what's going on, and I've got about 7 shows like that. So I don't need any more. What is going on, Tina? And silence from Tina.
Yeah. We've got them all mixed up. They all
No,
feel
I
the
think
same
that the most interesting thing about the midterms is that it's actually possible to root for some people now
now.
for the first time
Well,
in
that's
years.
a good thing.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
All right.
All right.
Well, thanks for your time, guys. And we'll see you next time. Remember, thanks to everybody who showed up and especially those who didn't.
Later.
Bye-bye.
When
Bye-bye.
Steve said "remember," then he was talking to
Yeah,
himself.